Hey guys, this is Rick Denton. Allison has brought the camera back out here today to film me talking about a few memorable events that I had with Honest Abe, and I wanted to share one especially this morning. Uh, our venture into international business. Uh, this was 1991, and 1991 was uh, a recession year. Things had slowed up in the home building business, and we were wide open for anything that we could do. Uh, in fact, a lot of things happened along with this in 1991. Uh, a very memorable year. So 1991 rolls around, and we get this inquiry from China. A couple are in school over here, and they were on the West Coast. They come up with this idea to open a log home agency import-export business in China. And they inquire with Jim Smith, who's running our Murfreesboro business at this time, just wide open down there. And make a long story short, they arranged for a trip for Jim and I, because I was the company president. They wanted both of us going to visit China, Taiwan, China, which is an island outside the mainland. And they booked us for a 2 week trip over there, 10 days, 2 weeks, somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly, but a long time to be in China, and flew us out there and first class, and made really nice uh, impression upon us. Jim and I flew, and we traveled all day into the night. I think we flew for 20 hours. We flew across the international date line. We flew forever. I lost track of what day it was even. I could remember this funny story. Before we landed, the the people on the plane passed out razors for us to shave off our day's growth of beard, which had come out there on the plane. And we landed in China, and oh my goodness, what an experience! Uh, we were there to meet with this large worldwide corporation that was building projects all over the world. They had a massive building project going on there on that island of Taiwan. And they were looking at putting log cabins on that project. They were leveling a mountain and making it all livable. Just one of the biggest projects I've ever laid my eyes on anywhere. They had earth moving equipment everywhere, and they were a $1 billion operation, and we were there to meet with them. And we had met with our agent, and had met his family, and his family was very influential. His dad was a high-ranking banker, maybe the top bank in that area. Carried a lot of weight, and he had got us in to an interview with this company. And before we met with the company, they showed us the island, and we were traveling all over the place. We were eating all sorts of stuff, just stuff not cooked. It's a totally but we had made up our mind that no matter what they wanted us to eat, we would eat. So it seemed like I was eating worms or tobacco, tobacco worm sticks out in my mind. We ate something that looked just like our tobacco worm here in Clay County. Uh, Sea cucumbers, just weird stuff we were eating. If they put it in front of us, Jim and I ate it. We wanted to make a good impression. Another item was rotten eggs. They, for some reason or other, they would boil eggs over there and then bur or maybe they didn't even boil them. They would bury their eggs for like 90 days and they'd turn black and they were a delicacy. Uh, we were eating anything that they put in front of us. We decided to do that in our training. Our agents had trained us on how to make a presentation and how to win their approval. This was a major corporation. I can't emphasize that enough. Jim was the talker. He was he just like April and Shane now today. He could say anything in front of anybody. It didn't bother him at all. Me, I'd get tongue tied. I'd forget whatever. So they determined that the best strategy for me was just don't say anything. Just look the part. Just sit there and smile while Jim was talking. So I could do that fine. That was my role. I would uh, I would just sit and smile. So you fast forward after a couple of weeks we'd been there, and it was time to make the presentation. We were competing with a company that appeared to already have the business locked up, but because of the clout of CK's dad and his financial standing, we got uh, uh, invited to compete, make a presentation. We go into this boardroom, the most elaborate boardroom I've seen today. Mahogany, plush seats. It was unbelievable. Uh, uh, they had a big long table, and there's like 25 people in there all around this table. It was almost impossible for me to describe. But we went in there, and I never will forget the head man's name. He said his name was FM, like the radio station. He said, just call me FM. And he had all of his people with him around the table. And uh, we were uh, we were sitting there eating anything that they would put in front of us, and it was time for Jim to make his presentation. And so I assumed my role of just sitting there and smiling, saying nothing. And Jim made his presentation, and he did such a remarkable job, just a, a, a flawless presentation. And uh, some of the things that Jim was saying, I couldn't believe that uh, those were uh, part of his presentation. Just a remarkable job. To make a long story short, we got the contract. We had an opportunity in 1991 to send, I don't remember how many packages to China, but for the next 5 years, we had a remarkable international business going. We uh, we had to hire a person and send him over there. We had to train him on all of our stuff and send him. He lived in China for 5 years and conducted our business over there with our agents. And that was one of the most successful parts of Honest Abe that we had during my whole career. Uh, our our trip to China and the worms and the sea cucumbers and things that we eat. They put us up in a hotel over there, a really nice hotel, and I never will forget. But there was a McDonald's there right beside that hotel, and that's where Jim and I would sneak to every night, get us a McDonald's hamburger and things to eat, so that we could uh, not have to endure all that China food. But yeah, China international business, a big part of Honest Abe, and it would be 1991, I guess, through 95.